It's time for my final review of Denmark in Eurovision 2025. It's Sissal singing Hallucination. We're going to check out her performance from the grand final, see what went right, what went wrong, and talk about what could happen with Denmark next year. So let's kiki. Hi, my name is Tom. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst, and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So very excited to check this out today. I'm not planning to go on a rant. Many of my rants are unplanned, but I really don't want to go on a rant today. I already did that in my DMGP video. Let's just try and keep this a little bit calmer today so I can keep my blood pressure under control. I'm going to be reacting to her performance from the final. I'll leave as much of the original audio and visuals in as I'm allowed, which for these videos has actually been pretty good. If I do need to make changes though, it'll be up onto my Patreon. This is Sissal, wanna know my secret bang? I haven't seen this since the final, have I? No. Oh, I didn't realize she actually wrote, she was one of the songwriters. I have to admit now, it's a little bit of a cheap start. That looks a little bit Melfest to me. You know, Melfest usually has their shows and then they upgrade them. That still looks a tiny bit cheap. It looks kind of like cheap chiffon. Now that was a new thing they added in. I don't know if it's like technically a rerun, but that like dum dum where the ground shakes, and that's good because it fits in with the hallucination theme of the song. I don't know, hallucinators, is that in the like Eurovision version? Like, do you hear it in the version? I don't listen to the song, I'm gonna be honest with you. She's great though, great. Like even though it's just a small mannerism, it's very pop, but it fits Eurovision. It's good, it's fun, tiny bit goofy, but it's like a classic pop performance. I see colors and we've gone from black and white into the colors popping. That's fine. I like it. It's fun. It's a bit referential to the song. You know, the color palette, I'm not going to go on about this. It's the pink and aqua, which I go on. You already know what I think about it. Outfit-wise though, I really like what she's got on here. It catches the light in such an interesting way and it has so many layers. Wait, let me get a better picture where you can actually see it. That is really beautiful. I think she's going to take it off later, isn't she? I can't remember. But that's gorgeous. It almost looks like a map, like looking down, but it's like weird and it's got that black and white. It reminded me a little bit of the black and white spirals that you see for hallucinating, like hypnosis. Really fabulous dress. Plus it catches the pinks and the blues, and it's got the blacks and whites. Really great costume choice here. Okay, getting a scan out. That's a cool image though there. Like, this is better. This is like more looking like a final Eurovision thing. It's just looking more expensive. My problem with DMGP is it just looked so ratchet, cheap, basic ass. And that looks more expensive now. That's a cool effect. And then we have her with this like blue shading at the bottom. That's really pretty. Is this a dress? So she is wearing a big ass dress. I really think that dress is wonderful. I haven't really seen the bottom half of it though, what are the details, but the top half, oh, it's great. And changing into blue. Again, we're getting a bit of this behind, which is a tiny bit goofy. But the blue on the side looks cool. It does look nice. I think, like, I see what they're going for, the illusion of a person behind. I think it could have been a bit more abstract, or it's a tiny bit cheap. It's a dancer behind the curtain just going with a bit of hands. Just a little bit more thinking on that could have just made it a bit more deluxe. And we have the costume the other way. Let me watch that again. That was kind of, yeah, she's peeling it off now. You can actually see it's kind of difficult to take off. They're trying to do it in a way that's not like too jerky, so they're trying to like smoothly take it off, but I think it's like a little bit difficult to remove. I would have liked to have seen a couple of details from the lower ass part of the dress. In fairness, that woman behind did her job going like this because it did distract me because I missed it the first time. This song has definitely got a bit of a revamp. It sounds different than what I remember in DMGP. That's pretty now. That cloud with the blue light on it, that's really gorgeous. Giving me a little bit of underwater Arctic glacier feel. So a little bit of an, Denmark's not that high up in the planet, but I don't know, I do get a little bit of icy feel with all the Scandinavian countries and Nordic countries. I see what they're going for here, that it looks odd. I wish this just had a bit of a better idea. I just think them behind a curtain, it's not giving me a hallucination really. For example, if they put some weird shapes on their head so it looked unusual behind the curtain, or something that made, or like for example, they could have put on long fingernails. I'm literally making this up on the spot. This is what I'm talking about though. I just a few more fleshed out ideas so that, for example, their bodies looked very strange or weird behind the screen. It just looks like a couple of people going like behind a. So it's something which is better than nothing, but something great would be better than something. Sissal's the star, by the way. Sorry, I haven't said that yet. I thought we'll just assume that. She's wonderful. I'm gonna rant about how much I like her later. This is a nice image as well, this like blue sheer. Love those lines on the ground. Love them coming. And you know what, like I like pink and blue. It looks pretty. There's a reason why people choose it so much. It's just that it's overdone. I know, just even interspersing it with some light orange, some golden orange, it just makes it feel like you're kind of doing your own thing as opposed to just copying a color palette that's been done. That's my issue with it. It just feels lack of effort. It looks great though. Like that effect on the floor there is really, really, really pretty. And it fits the song. Like the song is such a kind of trashy Europop song, so you wouldn't expect it to have like edgy color palette. So I get it. It matches. Her new dress is wonderful, and I really, really like that she kept her outfit from DMGP, because some people were criticizing her for her body shape. I think she's got a beautiful body shape, so I like that she kind of did a little bit of an FU to those people and just stuck with that outfit. Just wonderful vocals. This is just sung so perfectly. When we were watching the rehearsals, she didn't sing. I mentioned that on when I did all my reviews at the time, to protect her voice. You really can't tell that she was having voice issues now at all. It's so flawless every single time. That's a huge part of why this qualified. Love that flick up. Such just a classic pop moment. Let's get more of that hair flick. It's just so iconic. Just small moments like that are just like very C-word in the good way. Love the fact that the hair's in her face as well, just giving that slight imperfection. It gives it a real rawness, like she's just giving you her soul. I think this is because they're setting up the dancers having the platforms. I think this is potentially a lost moment here. It's you know, a bridge where really she's got time to rest. There could be something really, really wow on screen. This is fine. I just think this is an opportunity for a big idea, really hallucinating, especially as it's the bridge coming into the final wow. This is where you can go for something weird, and this is just kind of, again, it's the Danish delegation just underperforming. Like, that's just a blurry screen, babe. That's just blur. So I think the dancers are set up now. Nice bit of connection with the camera, you know, but she's got a gorgeous personality. So, you know, take advantage of that, you know, build that connection, that warmth with the people at home. You can see her close up her dress now, really, really nice and sparkly, very Melfest. And we can see there's this effect of the dancers. I think that's a wow, man. Like that image there is really, really pretty. The effect on the back screen, the lights also acting as lines as well, really, really nice. And we have this trick of the dancers bending. I wish it was a bit more extreme, particularly when we first see them. I want to see them look so horizontal. You're like, what the hell is happening there? They're a little bit upright at the start. It could have been a little bit more impactful, wow. But I just like that demo actually did something. They're basically wearing like ski boots. It was like a plank along the ground with the ski boots that they could attach into. Or they're this, like opening on them being bent backwards. Just so it's like really like, whoa, what's happening? I think that would have had even more impact. But again, I'm loving these visuals on the back now. They're really gorgeous. That's lovely now how the dancers are going. And it just climaxes the song. It's giving you a visual build up. You know, that's one thing I'll say about this staging. It's well constructed. We've got our wow moment at the end, which I just think you need. Lovely. She's wonderful. And you can just tell that she gave it her all. You can just feel in the lightness in the power in her voice. And just those several small things in the moment, like her hair's on her face, she doesn't care. She falls down to the ground, the hair flick. Just these little things that just give 100% energy. So happy that she qualified. So shout out to the reorder board who did these graphics for the results for Hallucination in the final. Let's check out and see how she did in the final. Of course, I already reacted to her semi-final results in my semi-final 2 video, so go check that out if you haven't seen it already. Let's see who gave big points to Hallucination. UK gave this 10. That's really good from the jury. We're looking at these aqua points, which are from the jury. Georgia also giving it 10, Austria 8, Italy 7, which is kind of weird. I wouldn't associate Italy with giving this high points because I kind of think of the Italian jury maybe being a little bit more like highbrow. Serbia giving it 5, Australia 4, 1 from Czechia. So huge spread of points here from all over Europe, but none from the Scandinavians, which is really, really interesting because I do think this is a very Scandi pop song, a very Nordy pop song. None of them. Iceland put it 11th, so not too far. Norway put it 11th. Sweden put it 22nd. Sweden said, this is a Melfest reject. It's not actually, but that's what they're conveying with this 22nd place. Where did Finland put it? Finland put it 15th. So yeah, surprising that the Nordics were just like, no thanks. It's not a hugely imaginative song. It is very much Scandinavian national final standard fare. There's nothing really in this song that's particularly wow. It's solid. A lot of people really, really enjoy this song and there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, there's no problem with anyone ever enjoying any song ever, but it's just not particularly innovative. Yeah, I still would have thought that the Nordics would maybe show it a tiny bit of love, but no, UK and Georgia are the ones who put it in 2nd place overall in their juries. So kind of intense that the places that they did get points from were actually pretty high ranked, and then just shunning from a lot of places, a lot of rankings from 15 to 22. Let's look at the televote, which is this purple point, which is this one. There's not too much to look at, and that's from Iceland. So finally a little bit of Nordic love coming in. Let's see where the other Nordics put it actually. Italy put it last. Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. I actually didn't see that before I made that comment about Italy. But yeah, I would think that this is the type of thing that Italy would kind of reject. We just never see songs like this really in Sanremo. The only person I can think of is Elettra Lamborghini. And I remember that she was kind of looked down on a little bit. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I would associate Italians with not really liking this kind of more kind of soulless pop. Greece also put it last. So did Cyprus, Croatia, and Slovenia. Yes, Iceland had it 9th. Anyone else? Where did Norway had it 13th? Finland had it 16th. Sweden had it 13th. Okay, so basically of all of the remaining countries who didn't give it points, the top ones were Nordic and Australia, who are in the Nordic pot, remember, the allocation pots. And interestingly, outside of the Nordic pot, the best results then were from the UK. Something really resonating with the UK with this. Actually, where did Ireland put this? We didn't feel, so this is the difference between the UK and Ireland. We put this 20th in the jury and 22nd in the televote. So yeah, quite a big difference there. And Latvia and Lithuania, that's another pair this year. Latvia put it 16th, Lithuania 24th. Televote 23rd and 22nd. Latvia and Lithuania had the most incredible synchronization with mostly their televote, also their jury a little bit as well this year. Really, really cool. So look, this got a much better score from the jury. Not surprising, her vocals were incredible. And we know that the jury will reward songs that have great vocals that are a little bit more safe, family friendly. Televote, there just wasn't enough wow here. I think there was a bit of scope. Like I said, there's a couple of moments that were missed where they could have gone crazy. This was still a kind of PG interpretation of Hallucination. Nothing in it made me feel like weirded out or uncomfortable. I think they could have pushed it. Not to say that I had to make it like grotesque or horror, but nothing really like stopped me and go, oh wow, what's happening there? Whoa, this is crazy. Am I hallucinating? They just didn't push it to that level. I think many people were happy with this because expectations for the Danish delegation are so low because, in my opinion, they are one of the worst delegations in Eurovision. I would rank them up a little bit higher now after this. I think they did make some good decisions. The color palette looked pretty, but overall I think that they are one of the weakest in my opinion. And you know, the qualification record backs that up. If you look at someone like Malta, who I think did take some risks and had some like really wow, I actually think that Malta's staging was more hallucinogenic and kind of like trippy than Denmark's was, and their song wasn't even about hallucination. So you can kind of look at Malta and see that as a potential avenue in terms of just crazy kaleidoscope, almost like you're tripping on hallucinogenic. Maybe they should have just all popped some LSD and just come up with the staging that way. I think going for that safer staging then is a reason that only got 2 televote points. The song itself as a base product, I think, is a little bit just too basic. So I think it probably had like a max cap of like 30 points. I think that it could have gotten if the staging had been like, wow, perfect, and it wasn't at that level, so it only got 2. Much better than getting 0 though. I'm really, really glad this got 2. The difference between 2 and 0 is immense. It really, really, really is, because when you get 0, it's such a big FU to the artist. And I just think getting 2, just that tiny show of love, I think just makes such a massive difference. So I'm so glad that this did get points. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of her. She's so lovely. She left me a couple of messages this year, watching reactions from me, watching reactions from other people, getting feedback, getting criticism, being really, really open-minded and humble, which I think is absolutely wonderful. Huge fan of her. Would love her to come back again. I'm very glad that she broke Denmark's non-qualification streak and got them through to the final. Let's talk about next year, because my big question, I'm actually very hyped to see what's going to happen with Denmark next year. I'm hyped for DMGP. Yes, you heard me correctly. Because in my opinion, Denmark qualified this year because of Sissal. Plain and simple. If Sissal wasn't there, non-qualification. She pushed us over the line. She pushed the delegation, in my opinion. My big question is this a Bambi Thug moment where the qualification was all about Sissal, and now that we're going back to the delegation being on their own, they're going to be screwed? Or has her pushing them past their normal limits, is that going to rub off on them and we're going to see the delegation step up next year? That is my big ass question that I'm genuinely fascinated to find out. Are the Danish delegation going to learn from Sissal, or are they going to go back to their super snoozy, low effort, no creativity packages? Don't make me show you the video of Ready, where their national final performance and the final performance were the exact same. 0 hours put into that staging concept. I'm not going on a rant. I promise you I'm not. So I really, really do hope that the delegation got a bit of a kick on the booty and they saw Sissal's passion. They saw that they need to push themselves outside their comfort zones and think a little bit harder. It wasn't near perfect. There could have been so much more, because the lyrics of the song just lended themselves to just something huge, and they went medium sized. Are they going to learn lessons from that? Are they going to come back stronger next year? My big hope for DMGP next year is that we have more variation in the music. They reach out to more artists. It's too much of a pop competition. I think they need to make an effort to, like Festival da Canção does in Portugal, reach out to some artists. Say, we want you to submit a song. Make a bit of effort in the off season. I'm pretty sure they've got the staff to do that, because Molly Plank is their head of delegation. She's on the reference group. I'm sure that they've got a support network. Do some scouting. Let's get an indie song. Let's get a song in Danish. Let's get a rock song. And let's push it with the staging. There's this fear that Denmark doesn't want to win again because they went massively over budget when they hosted in 2014, which, by the way, is one of my favorite hostings ever, if not my favorite hosting ever. Absolutely amazing, but they went hugely over budget. So there's a genuine fear here from DR of not wanting to win. But on the flip side, it takes a huge amount of effort to win. It's not like you're going to accidentally win. I think they could put in a lot more effort and still not be at risk of winning. Just qualify a little bit more comfortably like they used to in the 10s and noughties, where they were regularly qualifying almost every single year. Standard of the competition's raised, they haven't met that. They need to step up. Really, 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 really excited to see what's going to happen next year. See if lessons are learned, and can they get their second qualification in a row? That would be crazy. Okay, that's what I thought about Sissal singing Hallucination for Denmark. What do you think? Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Thank you to those who've been supporting me on PayPal and Buy Me Coffee. If you want to support the channel, I'll leave you a QR code for here and a link in the description. And of course, thank you to my wonderful patrons and YouTube members from all around the world for supporting the channel, especially in the off season. It really helps keep things going and helps me to keep creating in the off season. But of course, thank you so much just for being here. I'm seeing another final review very soon. Goodbye.